This may be one of the hardest talk series I have ever given, because I want to be as honest as I can with you, because we're in a very important time, I think, in the history of the world and also in the history of the Shia community. I'm sure even if we don't admit it to ourselves, we all know deep in our heart that the community is not feeling very well. Some of us have stopped caring about religion. You either have a friend or a family member, or maybe you're watching at home and you're one of these people who feel like religion doesn't work for you anymore. God, Shia, Islam, all of that doesn't make sense, and you've left. Some people we have in the community who they still have a connection with God, but they no longer feel connected to the community. We have so many people who feel like they don't relate to what goes on in the centers, and they no longer come. They say we don't feel like we belong. They say we don't feel like we're represented. We can't relate to what's happening, and they don't show up. And you could be watching at home and be among these people, because I talk to a lot of people like that. Just a few days ago, someone came and saw me after the lecture, but said, I'm not going to come inside the center, I'll just see you outside. Why? I don't feel like what's happening represents what I believe in. Okay. Some people feel like they want to be part of the centers, they want to be part of communities, come, see other people, feel that they're part of a community, but then they feel like what is happening in a lot of communities don't match with the view they have of the world. They want to try new things. Some communities, some centers, some organizations are so traditional, they want something new, so they go towards that. And then there are some people who want to do things the way they were always done. The tradition, keep it the way it was, and they feel like the ones who want something new may dilute religion. And whichever of these groups of people you belong to, and some of these groups may not even talk to each other anymore, I talk to all of them. And I know most people, in whichever of these categories they are, they're really nice people. They want to connect to God, they want to live a good life, but there's something going on, and we need to address that as a community. We need to come together and talk. I feel like in the history of our community, we are in those moments where, in a house when there's issues, for some time you can just ignore the issues. Slowly, the relationship gets colder, siblings start growing distant. But at some point, if you want to save the family, the parents need to maybe make a cup of tea, make a hot chocolate, tell the children to come, let's sit around the table and talk. The way things are going concerns me. There are so many divisions within us, within our community. So much of it is unnecessary. So much of it is because we just don't talk to each other in a way that is not attacking. On the one hand, people come to me and say, Sheikh, I feel like certain things are being done and they're not beneficial. We need to try something else. I'm like, yes, you've got a good point. Certain things we're doing, it can be done better. But on the other side, you have people who are worried, what if we want to try new things and we let go of what kept this tradition alive for us after so many centuries? What if in the name of trying something new, you get rid of all the beautiful things we have? Where are you going to stop? What if in the process of making it relevant, you dilute it so much nothing is left out of it? That's a good point. We need to talk. And we need to talk before it's too late. Because what is happening as a result of this, our children are going through so many challenges. Our community is going through many challenges. Our relationships are suffering. We have so many problems that we need to address as a community, yet we can't even talk. Depression is rising. Anxiety is rising. Our children no longer care about religion. And not that I care if they care about religion or not. I'm worried for them. They're suffering as a result of that. Parents and children no longer can communicate. Parents don't even know what kind of world the children are living in. If as a parent you're 40, 50, you know the old ways of the world and you don't know what TikTok is, chances are you and your child are living in two different worlds. Your child may be part of your family, but is living in a different world, I promise you. And this will show itself in 10 years, give it time. You will not know the next generation of Muslims in the West in 10 years if we don't do something now. You don't know your children. You don't know what kind of world they're living in. Forget about your children. How are you doing? How's your relationship with your partner? How are the divorce rates in our community? How are our aunties and uncles feeling? Do they feel life is meaningful? Our grandparents, how are they feeling? Do they feel happy? Do they feel like life has meaning? Do they feel like they're part of the world? In addition to all the difficulties we have in our own lives here, self-worth. Ooh. Do you know how many of us don't have self-worth? Do you know how many partners message me on a weekly basis telling me they don't feel like they're worthy enough for their partners? They're worried their partner may leave them. Do you know how many people who want to get married, 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, who are not happy with the way their body looks, and they think as a result of that they will never be happy? What's up with our children? What's up with us? Why none of us feel enough? And we can't hide ourselves behind certain things in our life, behind certain achievements. Yes, I've spoken to successful ones as well. I can hide myself behind my 6-figure salary, behind my job. But I know you too. I see you. You're a soul too. I know you're worried too. I've been speaking to all of you. Person comes to me very confident, but I don't get deceived because I've seen so many of these confident people who they got fired from their job and for months they were lost. They didn't know who they are without that job. Tells me you're not feeling worthy either. You're hiding behind your job. If you lose your job, do you think your family would still love you? Oh, they would, but do you feel that? The youth are lovely youth, beautiful people in their 18, 19, 20-year-olds. When you want to get married, what are your standards? I'm not judging any of us. I love all of us. And tonight, I don't want to talk to you as a sheikh. In fact, for the next 6-7 nights, I'm not talking to us as a sheikh. I want to talk to us as a soul who's been through a very interesting journey. A journey that took me to Jose, a journey that made me hate Jose, a journey that brought me back to Jose, a journey that took me to religion, a journey that made me hate religion, a journey that brought me back to religion, a journey that made me hate life, a journey in which I was about to end my life, a journey in which I promised myself not to allow anyone to go through that again, a journey in which I studied psychotherapy to know how to help souls, a journey in which I realized so many people who are trying to help souls don't know how to live themselves. So tonight I want to talk to you as a soul, as a person who loves this community, as a person who cares about the future of this community, and as a person who sees that not only in our own lives we're suffering because we're not together, but also so much is happening around the world and we can't do anything about it because our wills are so divided. News comes from Afghanistan, news comes from different parts of the world. Our brothers and sisters are suffering, but we are so divided that our will amounts to nothing. What are we achieving? What is our mark as the Shias of Ali ibn Abi Talib in the history of humanity? All the oppression is happening and we're just allowing it to happen. In order to stop that, we need each other. Otherwise, we can't do nothing. Sometimes I used to think if Prophet in his time went and told Christians and peoples of other religions, تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم. At some point in the history of Islam, our beloved Prophet stood and said, peoples of other faith, Christians, Jewish people, come together. Let's rise over our divisions and differences so we can do something about this world. Now I feel like we have to say that to our Shia brothers and sisters. Ta'alaw. Let's rise over our differences. What is it you tell me if you go to that center, then we can't invite you? Not that I care to be invited, but what are we doing? The world in the next 20, 30 years is going to change so much. If you feel the world has challenges now, wait to see the next 10, 20 years. So much is going to happen. Oh yeah. And we need to prepare for that. We need to be together. Please recite the salawat. We need a new page in the history of Shia community. And we need all of you to make it happen. We need every single person. I'm not trying to call anyone to myself. I'm a nobody. I'm saying let's all come together. Let's rise over our differences. And I know some of you are hurt. Some of you try to make things work. You felt like you can't. I know some of you felt like there are some people who don't want change to happen, who don't want us to grow, who don't want us to get stronger. Let's rise over our differences. We have no time for personal interest to get in our way. We come to this world and we have two main resources: our body and our soul. And every stage of your life, every stage of our life, we're spending it. We spend our youth, we spend our childhood, we spend moments of our life, the moment that our soul gets to live in this world. And as we spend our life, which consists of our body and soul, if what we gain in return was worth it, we feel happy. And if not, we feel at loss. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. The human life has a built-in feature that if you don't gain something more precious than what you're spending, you're going to regret life. Let me give you a few examples. Imagine if I think that I can give my youth, my 20s and 30s, and get a good relationship out of it. That's the price of my life. I'll give my youth, my energy, the years in which I have the most amount of health, and I get a relationship out of it. I'm saying the price of my soul is that. And let's say after 10, 20 years, my partner leaves me, gets married to another person, or just leaves. How am I going to feel? 20 years lost and nothing gained. Even if I, as a mother, say, you know what, the price for my life, for my youth, is to take care of my children. I spend my whole life taking care of my children. I'm spending my life, my youth, the strength of my knees, the strength of my memory, taking care of my children. And if at some point they get old and they leave me, I'm in the house, children are gone, they don't even come to visit. It's me and the TV. Husband is at work, husband passed away, children don't visit. It's me and an empty life. How am I going to feel? At loss. And these are not fantasies. These are things you're telling me. It's so important for us to know what is our worth. Our worth is very high. And if we sell ourselves short, the result of that is suffering. Even if what we're selling ourselves for is a good thing, like raising children, which is beautiful, but you're worth more than that. You're worth way more than being in a relationship. You're worth way more than taking care of your children. These are all great things, but you're worth more. And in this world, you are faced all around you, especially in this day and age, with people who try to get your life and give you something. The actual thing that is happening in this world is that you have life, body and soul, and people want to buy that from you. And they're going to give you things in return. And it's up to you to decide if what they're going to give you is worth it or not. And if you don't know your worth, you sell yourself short. Maybe for half an hour at uni, to feel like someone likes you, to feel you're liked, to feel you're attractive. Maybe through 10, 20 minutes of someone with their words, probably they don't even mean it. They make you feel attractive. They make you feel desirable. They want something from you. They're buying your body. And you can decide whether you want to sell it or not. Every stage of our life, the same thing is happening. People want our stuff, our body, our time, our attention, our soul. Some of them, in order to fill the gaps in their own life, maybe they have a need. They come to us to satisfy themselves through us. They take our innocence. They take our time. Some people even want to help. They tell you, you know what? Come. There are so many ideologies that tell you, come towards us, give your life to us, we'll give you happiness. But a lot of it is dead end. You give your life to them, and 10, 20, 30 years later on, you look back and you see you've achieved nothing. Not that many people in this world have things to offer you that are worth your time, your body and soul. Many people can't even help you, even though they have good intentions. They want to help, but they're not grounded on anything, and I see so many of them. Be very careful. In this world, it's so easy to pretend to be something we're not. It's so easy to pretend to have spiritual peace to offer. It's very easy to pretend to have something. Prescription to happiness. Prescription to salvation. It's not that easy to have the real thing. You have to be very careful. Please recite the salawat. The reason why so many people can't help you, the reason why most of us were not happy with our life, the reason why we feel at loss, the reason why we've lost the joy of life, the reason why our relationships are difficult, the reason why it's so difficult to find an uncle or an aunt who's happy about life, the reason why we have so many problems is that in order to help you, the person needs to know you. And I'm telling you, many people in this world don't know you. Even religious people don't know you. For most of us, the way religion was offered to us is going to leave us at loss. After many years of back and forth with this religion, and finally finding my peace with the Ahlul Bayt, I'm here to tell you that many people have got you wrong. They don't know you. You have so many needs inside yourself. We all have. These needs are your engine to do something in this world, to become active. When you're thirsty, you move towards the water. Likewise, when you have other needs, it pushes you to achieve something. Now, unfortunately, in the world, we are right now faced with two options, mainly. On the one hand, there is religion, our understanding of it, of course, not the understanding of Ahlul Bayt, that the way it wants to help you grow, in fact, it doesn't even know if you grow or not. The way it wants to help you, the prescription it has for you is you've got certain needs, and I have to make sure I bring enough rope and tie you so strict, so tight that you don't make a mistake. You have certain desires, you want to do certain things. Well, you can't. Sit down. You want to go explore, you want to go show yourself to the world. Sit down. You want to have so many relationships. Sit down. Not allowed. And on the other hand, we have the larger culture that tells you, oh, you know what? Go for it. You want to be in relationships? Go for it as much as you can. They've unleashed the ropes. They tell you, go for it. Oh, you want relationships? Go for it. You have this need? Go kill yourself as much as you want. The needs we have are so simple. The ones these two groups know. How many things do you want? Initially, before you know yourself. Food, house, to feel loved, sexual relationships, safety, being accepted. Very simple stuff. These are the ones that you're aware of right now. You have way more other needs. But this group of people, the ones who think that's all you are, you're just a person here to have relationships. You're just a person here to eat. They tell you, go for it. Don't let anyone tie you down. Go. You're free. Go eat as much as you want. Make your house bigger. Oh, maybe that's what makes you happiness. Have as many relationships as you want. And you see it's not working. Have you seen how weird everything in the world has become? 10 years ago, burger was burger. Now look at burgers. They make them double. They put hash brown in them. They put bacon in them. They put cheese on top. Why? Because they think you're an animal. They think the only way you can have happiness is if you keep eating. And you go there, you keep eating, it's not happy. You don't reach a place where you're happy, so they make it bigger. They put cheese on top. They keep making it bigger. Sexual relationships keeps getting weirder, more aggressive. Why? Because people tried everything. It didn't make them happy. They tried everything and it keeps getting weirder and weirder and more aggressive. Why? Because they're looking for a solution in a place that doesn't exist. Religion didn't help you either. The way it came to us. Because they treated you like an animal. The wider culture treated you like an animal. That's all you are. You're a body. Go meet the needs of the body. Go for it. What did religion do? Instead of reminding you you're a soul, raise over the needs of the body. It said, yeah, you're a body. Tie this body down. I remember in Qom, I was going to a restaurant with my friend. They would make us look that way because that was the women's section. Women's section of a restaurant. Oh, walk that way. Look at the wall and walk. What are they telling me? Jawad, you're an animal. At any point you may bite these women because you're an animal. We need to tie you down. So as a result of this type of religious parenting, this type of religious education, you have people who think they are a body, but they are tied. Oh, if Islam wasn't there, I knew what to do. People in relationships whose fantasies show they still think they're a body. They haven't been taught you can raise, you can fly. You're a soul. You're a representation of God on earth. You're worth so much. But you're tied down like an animal, and you're told you cannot control yourself. Oh, be careful, don't go there, don't watch that, don't do this, don't do that. And it shows, غربونت برم, it shows. If a soul was meant to fly, you treat it like a lion and you tie it down, it shows. These ropes are not that strong, it comes out. Do you know how many girls message me and say, our father cheated on our wife? Do you know even the ones who are not cheating, what's going on in their mind? Because you told them they're a body. You treated them like an animal in the name of religion. Do you know our youth who want to get married, why so many of them can't get married? Because they think they're a body. What do you want in your partner? Height has to be tall. Has to be this way. The body has to be this way. Has to be curved in these places, not in those places. Baba, you're not a body. Why did anyone tell you? Ask any person who got married. After a few years, the body means nothing. Ask people who are married. After 5-6 years, what do you want in your partner? To feel understood, to feel cared for, to feel heard, to feel appreciated. These are not the needs of the body. You're not a body, you're a soul. But obviously you think you're a body. Because in religious school, what did they do to you? They treated you like an animal in the name of religion. Khalifa of God on earth was treated like an animal. So it doesn't know its worth. So we have people with frustrated needs who think that they have to sacrifice all of their needs, they think would give them joy, so that one day God would give them heaven. And obviously they hate God, because in this situation, God becomes the source of frustration. God becomes the source of your unmet needs that you have to keep forgetting about, keep ignoring, till one day heaven comes and you get something. And when you ask them, what do you want in heaven? It's literally the things that people who treat you like an animal in this world are offering. This is what they want. And they can't have it here because religion tied their hands. They'll look for it in heaven. This is not the way it was meant to be. Religion came to give us freedom. Religion didn't come to tie our hands. Religion came to give you dignity and respect. And I know you. And I know. As soon as I say this, you may, no, that's not what religion did. I know. We didn't allow religion. We didn't allow the message of the Prophet, the message of the Ahlul Bayt to reach. I know. But it came for that. It came to give you freedom. It didn't come to tie your hands. Imam Ali says, Man karumat alayhi nafsuh, hanat alayhi shahawatuh. Imam Ali's prescription was not that you have needs that shouldn't be met, tie yourself down. No. He said, understand your worth. Know what's your worth, then do whatever you want. Because you're going to fly so high, you look down, and you would laugh that one day you used to think you're the body. Even our religious people, even the ones who are praying and fasting, they don't know what they're worth. At their maximum thing, they're looking for heaven. Imam Kazim in Usul al-Kafi says, heaven is barely the price of your body, not even your soul. To give your life and achieve heaven, you haven't done good business. Imam Kazim in Usul al-Kafi says, heaven is only the price of your body. The price of your soul, you're way bigger than heaven. You're way bigger than heaven. Heaven would be excited to have you. Religion came to give you freedom. Religion came to make you fly. Religion came to make us soar. Religion came to make us rise. And you can. Wallah, you can. You can get so high, you can understand who you are, a beautiful soul created by God. You will be so much above your needs. And you will realize your actual needs are way bigger. It does not want to stop any of your needs. It just wants to tell you that don't forget, these are not the only needs you have. Religion never came to limit you. Religion came to give you life, to give you respect, to give you freedom. If I fail to show it to you that way, that's my fault. Please recite the salawat. No other place on this earth other than with God, with the real God. Not the sheikh who wants your attention so that he feels good about himself. Not with another person who hasn't understood religion themselves. No, with God, with the true God, with the true teachings of Ahlul Bayt. Nowhere other than that you will find a place that you are understood, you are respected. And not just part of you, the whole of you. Even the parts of you that you don't know you have right now. None of your needs are to be limited. No, religion came to give you freedom, free yourself, to choose for yourself what you want to do. Shaykh, what does God care about what I do in bed? My certain relationships. Why does God care about that? All God doesn't care about what you do in your bedroom. God cares about you. God wants you to have a strong base from which you can go to the world. If your relationship at home is shaky, if you think your partner may leave you as soon as they find someone who looks hotter, you're going to be anxious. You can't come to the world and manifest yourself. We will never get to know you. If at every point you're worried that maybe my partner will leave me, that is not a good, strong foundation for you to come into the world. God doesn't care about what you do in your relationship. God cares about you. He wants you to have a setting from which you can fly. Not to be always scared. Messages from you. Shaykh, he doesn't find me the ideal wife. Shaykh, he tells me he likes another type of wife. Oh, this woman, you killed her. You killed her. You take her to your house, and in front of her you say, I like someone else. She's destroyed. We lost her. How can she come to the world and shine? This is what God cares about. We need people. Religion respects insan, the only place that respects insan, all of insan, and wants you to come and manifest yourself in the world. But for that, you need to be in a good state. You need to be balanced. If all you're thinking about is just one aspect of who you are, you're going to sacrifice so much of who you are. Any part of you that becomes your sole focus will not help you grow. You're going to sacrifice so much of yourself to satisfy one need, and I see that. We've got some lovely people in our community, so smart with so many intellectual ideas. The person is so frustrated. All of his religious knowledge, all of his intellectual knowledge, all of his sense of humor, he's channeling all to satisfy one need, to attract someone to himself. Give him a good basis, then see what he can do with all of that intellectual knowledge he has, with that banter which he's using right now to just satisfy one need. God doesn't want to take anything from you. God wants to give you more.